traditionally, what I do is I probably go to the places where kids have the tendency to hang out and find other kids. So typical day, usually I'll go check in at a few spots. Occasionally I'll go by the shelters and do like a quick walkthrough for like young adults. Most of the time I hear about kids, where kids are by other kids. So I'll ask them where they're hanging out or who they know or how do I get a hold of somebody, and they'll basically identify locations where I can go look for people. Probably a third of the job is to go out and make community contacts, because of course you can't be everywhere. So them knowing that they could call you and that you're available is very important. But also I think developing that human rapport, like going and meeting them like being able to identify you by face, by name, and then being able to call. And sometimes we'll get referrals that way, where they'll say, you know what, this person came in and I wanted to see if you could help them out with something. The thing about the shelters here in Grand Rapids is most of the shelters are set up to accommodate older adults. They become places that are unsafe for young people. I've had plenty of young kids that would rather be homeless than to go to some of these shelters, because when they go to the shelters, they become instant targets. This is the biggest challenge, I think, in a lot of ways with kids that are homeless. During the summer, it's okay because you can find groups of kids that you can hang out with. Groups of kids that are, in a weird way, they become your new family. And you know, for all the good that does, there's also a lot of harm. But when winter breaks, a lot of them find themselves having to make really, really desperate choices. That's when people are really put at risk, is because it's too cold out here and there's no housing programs in Grand Rapids for young people other than the bridge. But if you're in that 18 to 21 range, there's not a whole lot of options for you. And so a lot of them find themselves having to make really, really desperate choices that put themselves at risk. And it's a scary time for kids. This is a need that is being unmet. And I think a lot of people, when you talk about homeless youth, they don't think there's very many of them. But in truth, you know, there are hundreds every single day in this city that are homeless.
Here at the Bridge, we serve homeless and runaway youth ages 10 to 17. Here, we provide a safe shelter for them, basic needs that they need, and people that will listen to their stories and hear their voice.
Kids come here for all different types of reasons, all different worries, all different family problems, and we're a catch-all for kids who normally fall through the cracks.
First and foremost, we're about safe shelter. Also, we're here to intervene when crisis happens.
We're important because we provide a safe place to stay for youth who are homeless or runaway for a variety of reasons.
The Bridge is so important for this community because it gives children who are in my predicament a chance.
The fact that we've been here for over 35 years that says something. You know, we're in this community. We care about this community and the people in it.
If it wasn't for the help of Arbor Circle and their staff, I wouldn't have been able to make it without them.
At any given time, we have 60 to 70 clients. Some of our youth are coming from a foster care or youth coming out of homes where the mom or dad says, you're 15, 16, you're grown, you've got to get out. The youth face many barriers when they come to us, homelessness being the main one. So about 30% of our youth are parenting. Some people may say, well, why don't you just ask your mom? Well, what if they don't know where their mom is? What if mom is depending on them because they have a little bit of income? A lot of our youth are not employed, or they've had many jobs and they cannot maintain employment. Younger youth that are homeless or facing homelessness, they need that extra support. For that population, there's not a lot of resources available in this community. We're going to go to one of our TLP apartments. Really work with them and to empower them to be able to have those independent living skills that we know that they have, they just may not know it.